If you click on the link given to you for the starter project, this will take you to the project detail page. And here's the project, here's the app. Okay, so quick demo. Start the quiz. So as many questions as you can in 20 seconds. Start. Okay, so after 20 seconds, we get an alert that the quiz is over, and I get 7 answers correct. Okay, and I can do this again, so I can play this over and over. So what you're going to do is you're going to say copy the project, and it will make a copy for you. You can rename it up here. Let's just take a quick look at what's here in the designer. So we've got 2 groups, and the first group has the start button and your name. And then the second group, which we can't see because it's hidden, let's click on it and show it. This is where the question will show up. You'll type your answer here, and this will be your result, either correct or incorrect. I'm going to make that invisible again. And let's go to the blocks. Okay, so we've got several variables, and we've got a few different event blocks. So let's start with the start button. So when the start button clicks, it checks to see whether you put your name in or not. It gives you an error message. Otherwise, it sets the score to 0. It makes group 1 invisible, so that's the start button, and it makes group 2 visible, which is where the quiz shows up. And then it calls this function new question, which is going to set up a new question, and it turns on the timer. Okay, so that's going to be our 20-second timer. So new question has variable num1 and num2, and those are just random integers between 1 and 20. You can change these if you wanted to. You could make it bigger numbers if you wanted to. And then we're going to have a random integer from 1 to 2. And 1 will mean that it's an addition question, and 2 will mean that it's a subtraction. So we're just going to make this a variable that's going to be true for addition, false, and that will mean subtraction. Okay, so let's set up the question text. So we're going to say num1, and then we're going to say if addition's true, we're going to put a plus in there, otherwise we're going to put a minus sign. And then we'll have num2. So that's where we're going to get the 2 plus 3 or 8 minus 7 question. And then the answer, we got to figure out what the answer is. So again, we're going to say, well, if it's an addition question, we'll add them together. And if it's a subtraction, we're subtracting them. So we ourselves here in the app know what the correct answer is. We will set the answer to just blank so they can type in their answer. Okay, and then the user is going to type in an answer, and then we're just going to check the answer that we figured out over here, if that's equal to the answer they typed in into the text input that we've called answer. And if it's correct, we tell them it's correct, and we change the app score by 1. And then otherwise we say incorrect. And then we put up a new question. So we call new question again. So it does the same thing. This will just keep happening until the timer fires. And so that's set up for 20 seconds. At that point, we're going to hide the quiz, open up group 1 again, which is the start button. We're going to turn off the timer so it doesn't keep trying to fire every 20 seconds. Then we say, okay, quiz is over, and we tell them what the score is. So we set up the message with the new score. You got so many answers correct. And then we show the alert. This is what it currently is. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add the capability to save the high score for the user and then display that. Okay, how are we going to do that? We are going to have a new data source, and we're going to let's do this in Google Sheets. So let me just first open up a new all right, let's do a new Google Sheet. I'm going to call this quiz scores, and I'll have name and high score as my 2 columns. I'm just going to bold these as headers. Okay. Now I'm going to go back, and I'm going to click on data sources, hit plus, and create new Google Sheets, and I'm going to select a sheet. Okay, this is the one I want, the one I just made. We want to keep that, and we say create. Let's see if we can open this up and see it. So now we see the two columns that are currently emptied. Now if we go back to our blocks, what we actually want to do here is once the timer fires, that's the end of the quiz. And right now we just give them this message, which is their current score. So this is where we want to actually check. Either we're going to write their high score to Google Sheets, or we're going to check if this is a new high score and replace it in the spreadsheet. Now to make this easy, I'm just going to make this into its own little function, just to keep things kind of separate here. So I'm going to call this check high score. We first want to see, is this user in my spreadsheet already? Right now we have nothing in there, but eventually we'll have people's names in there. So what we can do is say, let's make some new variables here. So I'm going to do from Google Sheets, get the whole list of players. So I'm going to just do an empty list to start off. But within here, I'm going to set the players to, and if we go down here to data sources, there's a whole bunch of blocks for data sources. So we're going to say the list of values. We're going to look in quiz scores, and now we can see sheet 1. That's the only sheet, and then it tells you the columns that you have. There's this hidden ID, which is the row ID, which we'll need later, but we want to get the list of values in name, and that's going to give us all the players who have played our game. And then what we want to do is to find if the current user is in this list or not. So what I'm going to do is make another variable. This is going to be index, which is going to index into our list. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set index to, and what we can do is in the lists, we're going to say in the list, and we don't want this list, we want the players list. In the players list, find the first occurrence of, and what are we looking for? We're looking for whatever the user typed in for their username, and that's in the name input, which is a text box. It's hidden, but we can still access the contents of it. So it says in this list, find the first occurrence of this person's name. Certainly there can be people that will have the same name. We're not going to get into worrying about that at this point, just to show how this could work. So let's make an assumption that only one person with a particular name is going to play the game. We're going to have a limited number of players. Let's find the index in the list. So if there's 5 players and say the third player is John, then it's going to return a 3 for John. And that way now we can find, first of all, whether or not the person's in the list, and then if so, we can actually find what their current high score is. If, and if else, we'll pull out. If the index returned is, so index, if it returns a 0, it means it didn't find it. So if you look up this in list, if you hover over it, it tells you returns the index with the first occurrence, returns 0 if the item's not found. So if that user this is the first time playing, they won't be in the list. So if it's a 0, we want to add them to the Google Sheet. So what we're going to do is go to data sources, and we're going to say create a row in quiz score in sheet 1, and the name value will be the name, and the high score will be their score. You can go to their score. We're going to create the row. Otherwise, what we need to do is we need to, and it's a little tricky with Google Sheets in Thunkable, you access a row by its ID, which I told you is this invisible row ID. So what we want to do is we're going to make another variable, which is going to be the row ID. and we'll initialize that to 0. Okay, and we can set, so this is the case where we did find it, so we're going to set the row ID to, in this case we want to get from a list. So we're going to get in a list, and again the list is, and in this case we need to pull the list. So up here we've got the list of players, but we're just going to pull the list of IDs. So remember, in this list of values, it can pull any of the 3 columns, this hidden ID, the name, of the high score. So we want to pull the list of IDs, which will match according to the name. Okay, so we know the index. So if we're looking at the third name, we want to find the third ID. So what we can do is say, let's just do this, copy this. We can say get list of IDs, and the one that we want to get is going to be this index, which was returned up here, right? We set it by finding the first occurrence of the name. So now we know, so say it's the third one in the list, so we say get the third one in the list of IDs to tell us the row ID we're looking for. Now this seems a little convoluted, but this is just what we have to do. So let's make another variable, which is going to be the high score, and we'll set that to 0. Okay, now we can say set the high score to, and the way we're going to get this is with properties. So we can say get the property, and within a row, let's do this first. Let's go to data sources. We're going to say get the row object from quiz scores in sheet 1 for the row ID we've saved. Okay, so we've got the row ID here. We're going to use that row ID to get the entire row in the quiz scores spreadsheet, and then the property name we want is high score. And you want to make sure that you copy it exactly as you made it inside your spreadsheet. If you don't spell it correctly, it won't get the right information. We're saying, okay, get the row for that particular name, and then pull out the high score. Now we say, okay, well now that we've got information, let's check if it's a new high score for them. So we're going to pull out here and we're going to say greater than. And we're going to grab if the high score, if the score, let's duplicate this and change it to score. So if their score for this game is greater than their high score, let's set the alert message. If I go back up here, I've set the alert message to say you got this score. And we were showing it here. We're probably going to move that. So let's set the alert message. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's move this out of here, turn it off for now, and let's say, let's join a new message to the existing message. So what we can say is join. And we're going to take the existing message, which says, hey, you got so many answers correct, that's your score. So we're going to join that with an additional message. You topped your high score. Now we have to update Google Sheets. So we're going to say update. So in quiz scores, we want to update the value in high score, and it's going to be for the row ID. We're going to update it with their new score. So we're updating the value in the Google Sheet in the high score column for the row ID that we've pulled up here. So we know we've got the right user, and we're going to put in their new score. If they didn't exceed it, then we can just, let's duplicate this. Let's set the message to good work, but you did not top your previous high score. And if you wanted to, we could add in what the actual high score was. Let's actually do that. So let's high score of, and make sure we add a space, and then we can say high score, right? good work, but you do not top your previous high score of, and give them their high score previously. And then what we can do is, let's move this down here. So in either case, at the very end, we want to give them the alert message. And then what we need to do is up here, we need to just call this function. So we're going to say check high score. All right, let's give this a shot. So remember, in my current, I just have nothing. So this should be a brand new run for me. So I'm going to type in Karen, start the quiz. Bit of a lag here. Okay, and I think there's a bit of a pause because it's going out to Google Sheets. Okay, quiz over, you got 8 answers correct. So it didn't give me any message because this was the first time in it, but now that would mean that I'm now here, and it is. My name's here with a high score of 8. Great. All right, so let's go back, and I'm going to run it again as myself. Start the quiz. Let's try to top 8. Okay, you got 11 answers correct. You topped your high score. Confirm it, and let's go back and say, and it has, it's updated my high score with 11. So this is a way to keep track of your high score. And of course, you would have other people running it. So if I say, my name is Joan, and I start the quiz, I can So because this is Joan's first time, got 11 answers. So now if we check, Joan has been added with a high score of 11. And so this would keep track of multiple people. Okay, so I've got a new challenge for you. In addition to this, can you check through the list of high scores to find out who in the list would have the highest score, and then you could display that as well. So you could either put a label at the bottom with the high score, the current high scorer, in this case we got a tie, or you could put it into the alert message and say, you know, something like, try to beat so-and-so who has the top high score. So that's a good challenge for you. Okay, so let's see if you can do this first of all, and then add that as an extra challenge. Good luck.